What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darium's Competitive Pokemon. I'm rolling another game on PTCGO. This time I'm playing my Ninetales GX deck, but I've slapped a Zoroark GX line in it, because why not? We're still looking to see where Zoroark GX fits into this standard metagame. I'm interested to see if this deck's, got any potential still. Ninetales kind of was a hot little deck for a minute, but then it didn't do anything at either of the big regional championships. So is Ninetales dead? Is it down and out? I think that Ninetales kind of just goes better in Decidueye, in my opinion. I think it's just, it is better. Ninetales really complements the Decidueye deck. You got the Vulpix to help you set up. You got the Ninetales Ice Blade to help, Decidueye snipe. I feel like Ninetales just goes much better in that archetype, but lo and behold, you can play straight Ninetales. You'll have a very good Volcanion matchup if you do. So we are going to give this a shot. And naturally, we start off with a nice, good old dead hand. So this is not good. If we don't shape this up almost immediately, then, things are going to be all bad from here. I am going to Guzma up this Remoraid just so hopefully my opponent doesn't do anything with Energy Evolution, start piling damage on me. And we're going to hope that they can't get that out of the active, or that, they can't attack this Vulpix for at least a couple turns while I beacon and try to set some things up. Probably should have, no, I don't want to attach the energy to my little Vulpix because that gives my opponent an out to win, which is double colorless and a Lele. It looks like they are playing Gardevoir GX here. Sure enough, there go the Float Stone. They had it anyway, so they're just going to Magical Ribbon. And this Magical Ribbon means that they are probably going to go and get... they're going to go and get to double colorless energy to try and win the game next turn. So we are going to have to hope that we top deck out of this. I could have attached that water there, and that would give me an opportunity to Ice Blade next turn on a top deck if I top deck a water, but it's probably better off that I just try to keep this Vulpix alive. Oh, and there's a Zorua. So this is an interesting little predicament here. I think with the getting of the Zorua, I could just beacon for a Zoroark and potentially another Vulpix and just go from there, and just say that like next turn we're probably just going to attack with this Zoroark, though that would require us getting like a supporter or something so that we could do some cool things that way. I think we're just gonna have to attach this energy to Zoroark. Ugh. And then I have to beacon. I can't just take this hand and just say, you know what, evolve into Ninetales and just sit here. So I do have to beacon. And then I am going to get a Zoroark GX. And I'm also going to get a Lele so that I can start to draw cards. So let's just go ahead and do that. I like those things there. And we'll see how it goes. I am feeling a little more confident that I do have Zorua here instead of a Remoraid. If that was a Remoraid, I'd be feeling a little like, eh. But having my backup, draw Pokemon also be an attacker does feel pretty cool. I like that. I think what I want to do, let's see, my opponent getting an N, and they can use that. I think what I want to do is I want to start putting the Potowns down. I didn't put the Potown down yet because my opponent could just play Field Blower, and they didn't have any Ralts down, so they weren't going to be evolving them up, so I decided to just forego that. You can see here that I did attach the Water Energy, and they're going to go for Magical Ribbon again, so that's cool because that gives me another turn with this little Vulpix up here. I was hoping that they wouldn't go very aggressively and just knock out my Vulpix. Let's see here. All right, my turn. 3 Sycamores and an N. Where do I go from here? Looking like it's going to be an N turn. Probably going to go ahead and attach this Water Energy to my Zorua. I could, not attach energy yet. Hope maybe I get a Ninetales and DCE. So maybe I'll just do that. I think that seems like a fine play. And I did get it. So that's cool. I could also evolve into this Zoroark and go ahead and stand in. I have a dead hand again, though. I could, let's see. I wish there was a way here. See, I have his retreat cost 2. I wish there was a way here for me to do something a little more fun. I feel like I do have to beacon this turn, unfortunately. So I am going to get the Latios. I am going to put the Potown down. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and beacon for a Lele and something else. Let's Oh, I did that in the wrong order. Because I probably should have. I was like, I could go for Zoroark. But if I Ultra Ball for Zoroark GX, then I would have had to discard the Potown, the Zoroark, and the DC to actually trade for something. So I'm cool with just beaconing this turn. I think that's what I want to do. So let's just go ahead, attach the double colorless energy to Latios just so it's there. And let's just beacon. And I'm going to get myself a Tapu Koko, I think, since I'm going to go for the Devolve strategy probably eventually. That's like, seems reasonable. And then let's get ourselves a Lele too so that we could draw some cards. So you can see here, not really going for Ninetales GX all that much. Ninetales GX is not actually all that great against Gardevoir. However, the Latios, the Tapu Koko, these guys are all going to put in some work. Not too worried about that. And here go the end again. So let's see. My opponent does have a DCE on that Sylveon GX, so, you know, maybe they plan on going a little more aggressively. How do I get end into so many hands that are bad? Stop it, deck. Stop it. I've only played one draw supporter. There are more draw supporters in there. That is some butt. But you can see, though, that this Latios is about to put in some work, so I don't feel too bad about that. And they did evolve up that Curlia. I have a Rescue Stretcher, so that's kind of cool because I can go ahead and get that Vulpix if I need to. And the Vulpix can beacon for some cards if I need it to. I can also evolve into this Zoroark here. I don't like terribly mind that. That's fine. I think I'll wait though and just see like what my opponent does. Be a little more reactive. I think I can Rescue Stretcher for that Vulpix pretty safely. Like that seems reasonable. I could wait. Discard pile in my hand. I could wait and go ahead and wait for this Latios to get knocked out and then Rescue Stretcher for that back. But I think like with Potown and this, you know, little thing that I'm about to do here, it's probably enough. I can put the water energy onto the Vulpix. Like that seems fine, but I might save it to go in on this Zorua later just because it's already got one water on it. So I might as well almost just do that if I'm going to Mind Jack. And then let's just break through, doing 60 damage here. I do like that because then that makes that Devolve bait. I can then do 30 damage onto the Curlia. Like that seems pretty good. I could also do it onto this Ralts. That like definitely pressures my opponent a little bit. I think I'm going to choose the Ralts just to diversify the damage a little bit more. So you can see here, hopefully they have to evolve up through this Potown again. If they have to evolve up through the Potown again, I'm going to be feeling pretty good about things because I got a couple turns here mapped out, especially if my opponent has to end again. I have some options, like the Tapu Koko is going to put in work, especially if they don't have Mr. Mime in their deck or anything like that. The Zoroark GX, he could put in some work. I could beacon if I need to. I'm not like terribly concerned about like where my next couple turns are going to go. And they had to Sycamore a couple Guzmas there. I do like that. And the Super Rod didn't get any mileage either. I like that. Hopefully they don't play anything like Max Potion. I suspect that they play a copy or two of Acerola. That's just like what most of these Gardevoir GX decks are playing now. I suspect that my opponent is going to use Fairy Wind to knock out the Latios in one hit. So I do have to go in next turn with the Tapu Koko. But the cool thing about that, yes, they evolve up through Potown. So Tapu Koko is going to get some work here in because they're going to put this Gardevoir GX over that 80 damage hump, meaning that they can get knocked out with that. They can get knocked out with that Espeon EX2. You're seeing here that I might have been a little 3, 6, 9, 12. I could do 110. Do 110 damage if I were to evolve into Zoroark. That's not quite enough, so I think we're just going to Flying Flip one time and just hope that my opponent lets me draw out of this mess that I'm in. If this was a Latios, you can see I'd be in, you know, I mean, that would be cool. I guess I wouldn't be able to do the 20 here and 30 here to knock that out, but Latios could knock out that Ralts if it were a Latios, but it's not. You can see here, unfortunately, my opponent is just like kind of ramping up the prizes on me. So things are getting a little stressful. I'm going to have to make some moves here pretty quickly if I want to stay in this game. Hopefully my opponent cannot find a Field Blower. Like we definitely need to keep my opponent from finding a Field Blower. And if they evolve this Ralts up, you know, through Potown, then, you know, we're pretty much in the money there unless they heal something, because then we could just go ahead and just lift everything up with the Espeon. That being said, we are going to have to find ourselves that Espeon and probably a draw supporter here. We've only played one N so far. So let's just, come on, deck. Let's just start working now. And they're just going to go for the Fairy Wind. They're probably sitting on an N if I had to guess, and they just like don't feel like giving me a new hand while also limiting them to 4 cards. They like probably don't want to do that. So let's see here. All right, Zoroark GX. You putting in work yet, buddy? Are you going to do it? Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 16. I could do 14. That's enough. I could do it. You know what? Like, but if I do that and I don't draw anything off of my prizes, then like I pretty much lose. So because then like if I don't draw anything on my prizes, my opponent knocks out the Zoroark, then I need to promote the Alolan Vulpix. But I think that is just such a good play though, like taking the 2 prize knockout here while I can. It seems good. It might be a little greedy though. I think I'm just hoping that I draw a supporter here. I'm just gonna go for it. You know what? Like the beacon play is probably a little more conservative than I would have liked to have been. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go for it. I haven't drawn any supporters, so maybe it means that some are prized. If this doesn't work out, don't do this at home, okay? Do not do this at home. Be responsible. Go for the beacon. Yeah, see, I knew it, all right? I knew some things were prized because I was drawing so bad. So we're fine. We're totally going to be fine. Okay, so now we are in game time mode, though. We need to find some things to do, and we need to find some things to do quickly. My opponent's going to knock out this Zoroark, no problem. I need to put some more damage on my opponent's side of the field. What are they going to go for now? They're going to go for N. Are they going to end me to 4? Gosh, so much hate. Don't end me to 4. Oh my gosh, they are going to end me to 4. Why would you do that? Now, hopefully, you can see by the fact that they're putting a DC on their Tapu Lele, they are not confident in their ability to, okay, they did get their field order. They're not confident in their ability to, get like this Ralts evolved up into a Guardy or something like that. I pretty much do need to go for the devolve this turn, though. So I need a lot of magic to happen off this end of 4. Like, a lot, okay? And, that's pretty much not it, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. We got a Vulpix, so we can beacon. That's fine. But I need a backup Pokemon, so we at least need to enter ourselves into, like, another Pokemon. All right, we got our Ultra Ball. This is a good start. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball. Oh, jeez. Let's see. My opponent does not have an answer to a Alolan Ninetales, the other one. So let's go get another Vulpix, and then we're going to go evolve into that thing. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to be the game plan, guys. Let's go ahead and do that. My opponent does not have a non-GX, non-EX version of, of an attacker out right now. So hopefully they can't get it. Let's see. We did get ourselves another Vulpix. Do I bench the other Vulpix? Probably. Just make it as hard as possible for my opponent to take the win here. No, because then they could knock out the active Vulpix and this Vulpix for game. So I think I need to just beacon here. And let's beacon for an Alolan Ninetales and a card I don't want, like this Zorua maybe. And let's just get those. And then so next turn, we need to probably Sycamore ourselves into the other Ninetales and just hope that we can like go ham with that for a little while and hope my opponent gets nothing else going on. Like when I say nothing else going on, I mean I hope they get nothing else going on. And otherwise this is going to be a little rough. Like this cannot become a Gallade straight up. Like that would be bad. Bad, bad, bad. I can go in with the other... I can go in with the Espeon EX, like that's a play. I can knock out this. I could take care of the Gardevoir that way, but I just wish there was 60 damage on this Ralts. There not being 60 damage kind of bothers me. So maybe, that'll, it doesn't, okay, so obviously 60 damage on the Ralts would be knocked out, but if my opponent evolves up, I would want there to be 60 damage on the Ralts. My opponent is going to go for Twilight GX. Maybe they see, what I'm trying to do to them over here with the Alolan Ninetales. They want to go ahead and shuffle that Gallade back into their deck so that they have an option to take care of the Alolan Ninetales when I put it up. That's probably a smart play on my opponent's side. Like they are, within striking distance of winning this game. They just need to not, screw up. So they're probably putting a couple Field Blowers back into their deck as well. Have to imagine, since, I do play Potown in here, and they probably want to keep those out of play. They did not go for the Field Blower, so that's fine. Energies, supporters. Okay, And the Gallade, of course, which I pretty much knew was going to be getting put up. So that's interesting because they did not take a knockout. So that actually gives me like a little bit of a better shot of being able to pull this one out. I can Field Blower my opponent's Floatstone here. And I think I just go for Sycamore since I like need to get some things. I can bench this Vulpix, I guess. Like that's fine just because then that gives me one more. Since my opponent didn't take that knockout here, I could evolve up. I didn't get the retreat. Okay, I don't have a Floatstone. That's a little annoying. But I do have a Tapu Lele for N next turn, but N's not really going to do me too much. And I only got one left in deck since my opponent does have that Octillery. Oh, no, not the Octillery. Let's see here. We could Ultra Ball away for something. I can't evolve into Ninetales GX. I could evolve into Ninetales GX. That would be a pretty bad decision. So let's just go ahead and Ultra Ball. Let's Ultra Ball the Bridget and this Ninetales. That's fine. Do we have our second? We do have our second Ninetales here. So I could... Oh, geez. This is just a tough call. I think I do get the Ninetales. I can evolve the active one. I could Aqua Patch onto a benched one. Like, just a bunch of weird things going on here. I think I do attach this here. Maybe Aqua Patch onto my other one. And then just Beacon again. And then, so like next turn, I'm going to like N and then attack into my Gardevoir GX and then hope that my opponent cannot get going here. So yeah, we're going to go for that. And then we're going to go for, we do have one double colorless energy left in deck, one N left in deck. Oh boy. All right, let's go for the Ninetales, just since I guess that makes the most sense, just in case my opponent doesn't knock out, in case I decide I want it. I don't know. Just to get it out of my deck so I don't top deck it next turn, to be honest. So next turn, the maneuver, I'm going to promote this Ninetales after my opponent knocks it out. Hopefully my opponent does not get like Gallade, Guzma. That would be super annoying. I don't know that I have an opportunity to win this game. You can see my opponent actually did not play anything from their deck. So maybe they like awkwardly don't have like a playable hand right now. So I'm actually not going to put that Tapu Lele down. Just going to slow roll this one. Here, we're going to evolve ourselves into Alola Ninetales. Attach Choice Band. We're just going to start going in. And maybe my opponent is waiting with that Ralts. I mean, if they do, perhaps I want to get... Oh, geez. I think... At this point, I want to, if they evolve into Gallade, I want to make sure that they take Po-Town damage. So I think I have to Sycamore here without putting the Espeon EX down. I think we just go for that. And then if my opponent has to evolve into the Gallade through Po-Town, then I'm in a much better position because then I can knock it out with a return Aura Beam. So I think like that's probably just what I'm going for here. And we're just going to hope that this works out like this, because if my opponent can respond to these Alola Ninetales in any way, shape, or form, you know, then we are going to be out of luck. We're going to be out of luck, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So let's hope that my opponent does not have Field Blower Gallade. I don't think they actually shuffled their Field Blower. They kept their one Field Blower there in the discard pile. So I imagine they're going for their Gallade now. Hopefully I am able to just knock that out, stick an N, and then go from there, something like that. I can't stick an N because they got this Octillery. Maybe they're gonna go for like the maybe they're gonna go for the Energy Evolution and then they're gonna Magical Ribbon. That's probably the case. They're gonna Magical Ribbon and get the cards that they need in order to like evolve into this Gallade. They're probably gonna get like Field Blower, Rare Candy, Gallade are gonna be the three cards that they get. I'd have to imagine like that would be like kind of a smart play. But if they do that, I'm just gonna N them to 1. So I'm gonna N them to 1. And then I'm gonna hit them for like 130. So I'm gonna make them have to work for it. And then if they Magical Ribbon again, I will take the knockout on the Sylveon. So like that's kind of cool. However, it's just such a tough situation because if I do hit this guy right here, then that means that my opponent will get to Magical Ribbon one more time before getting knocked out, meaning that they will be able to stack their hand in order to deal with the Ninetales. I don't love that. So that's like super annoying. Let's just go ahead. Let's just end. We're just gonna end. You know, like I probably should have attached that DCE to my bench Ninetales here. But I'm not too worried about it because, let's see, do I have a Guzma left in deck? I do have a Guzma left in deck, so like that's kind of interesting. So I can go for like Guzma. Let's do this. Aqua Patch. And then next turn, like I could go for Guzma up onto this like Ralts and like knock that out if I need to. So that's like an option I have. Let's just go for Orbeam here. And we gotta start taking some knockouts, guys. Like, this is bad. This is real bad. Oh, geez. My opponent's got like 30 cards left in that deck. That deck is fat. However, let's see. What? I could actually... Okay, I think I'm cool. Because unless they get a knockout on this Ninetales right here, I take this knockout. They knock out my Ninetales with Gallade. And then I Guzma for game on their Tapu Lele. So, like, I think I've got it unless they get the Gallade knockout here. So I've just got to hope they do not get the Gallade knockout because they've only got one prize remaining. Oh, they got it. They totally got it, didn't they? No. Okay, they got game. All right, well, good game, dude. It was a close one. So anyways, we tried our best, tried to keep my opponent from winning there, but, you know, anyways, Ninetales was fine. Zoroark was actually pretty bad in there. I think I would have been better off just playing a Ninetales deck. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Let me know what you all think of Ninetales to Zoroark going there, yes or no. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.